Alright, I just updated my system, I rebooted, and there's an update video currently on ArcoLinux D. But how about Ukui? Well, we do what we always do, and still I have to give this tip to a lot of people. Use the wiki, Arch Wiki, your laptop, Arch Wiki, MacBook Pro, whatever, and Arch Wiki network and DHCP or any technical thing you know, like cups. Cups is printing, so Arch Wiki cups, and so on. So we have here the Ukui, that's a group detail, which is actually interesting to know. That there are packages, groups. If you type Ukui up here, you do not get Ukui. You get a lot of packages coming in. And the reference here, Kylin, is maybe something we should refer to. I suppose we can find it here as well. Come on, stop doing this. Desktop environment, Ukui. Ukui is a lightweight Linux desktop environment developed based on GTK Qt. Ukui is the default desktop environment of, there we go. There is no, let's do a Control-C here and then go to this link. Voila, and then we can download everything. So we basically kept, if you look at the design, we just kept the original one and say, okay, you see what you can do. It's the Virgin kind of look, but it's based, unfortunately maybe for us, but it's based on Debian. Ubuntu Kylin. You see the images already here. And since it's Ubuntu, we found out that a lot of these things that were not actually present as an Ukui application, well, there are Mate applications. So we basically looked at Ubuntu Kylin and said, look at that. They are trying to add the things that are missing. They'll use Mate packages, and so have we. So Mate Control Center is here, the Mate Desktop, the Mate menus, settings daemon, and the Mate terminal, right mouse click. Can we open somewhere a terminal? Yes, you can, if it's installed. Where is it? Up here, I guess. Yeah. So no right mouse click. Nope, didn't miss it. So up here, there's an icon. If you did not install Mate terminal, nothing will happen. Things like that, we had to figure it out. It's not anywhere in here somewhere on ArchWiki or something like that. I thought, did we not have any ArchWiki Ukui? Might not have been, but it's let's see what we get here as well. I was thinking, yeah, okay, well, Ubuntu Kylin, and that's of course your target public, right? It's not actually created for us, it's created for another audience. Let's say it like that. All right, that's some background for understanding how it's all built and why it's still looking like this, because things are more fixed. They are, I would say, like a Mac or something, but they're rigid, more predefined, and just keep off. If to compare, I would say it looks like the same idea with deeping. It's looking like this, and we give you some extra applications, but it's supposed to look like that, and don't go changing it. So that's the tools we get is the tools we get. Right mouse click. turn on night mode. Coloring is a little bit different, I guess. Let me check again. Not yet. Set up night mode. So lots of things we can change. Variety is there. We've installed PAMAC. I guess this is still our PAMAC. You know, we are going to go for PAMAC all in the future, which will provide us also snap and Flatpak support. So we have here extra 2 tabs. If we install PAMAC AWOL, you can do that now. Well, actually, sudo pacman, it's already on our repos, -s PAMAC all. All you have to do is say, yes, okay, done. Well, a lot of stuff comes in. Why? Flatpak needs to be installed. And snapd must be installed. Of course, if you want support for it, you have to install it. Don't need it, don't install it. All right. We have for the computer, the trash, and the Eric. The menu is going to look like this. We have some buttons that we can use, right? Beautiful or not beautiful. Some settings. So Eric. Okay, then we go here. And we are actually already in the UKCC, or control center, right? And this is it, which makes it a little bit, daunting. As you'll see, there are things we can't change. Display, fine. Resolutions, all choices. Arrow up, please. Open monitor, unify outputs, night mode. So this is for dual people, dual screen people. We can change here some default apps. Yeah, that's okay. I was thinking about Mate, because Mate and Ukui, they are both installed and they might fight against each other. So it's not here that you'll get run into issues or anything like that. Nothing to click. Probably VLC not installed. Nope. Nothing to click. Power. Some changes we can do. This is not a laptop, but here it is when closed lid. How to boot stuff. Indicator China weather. Maybe you say, what's this thing? Let's get rid of that. And here we are already with some elements that are needed to make this particular desktop working, right? Mate daemon. And this is maybe a good thing. The I don't know, it's not Pony, but it looks like Pony. Peony, I don't know. Anyway, the desktop, right? And yeah, guess they should translate this still. Things like that, it's normal, right? We just have to live with it. The printer, adding printers, the mouse, all kind of things, right hand, so that's correct for me. Power speed and so on, everything looks okay. Everything that we need, of course, and no laptop. Keyboard. Here we get some things I can already say in advance, so we'll make one big video about Ukui. The keyboard layout is also managed with Mate. So it's important if you are going to change key bindings. Keyboard and keyboard shortcuts, I guess it's this one. This is the one we're using. And here is Pavu control, and here's ArcoLinux welcome add, and everything is in here. We're not using this guy, the shortcuts of this guy. There are shortcuts, but it's the standard and we just kept off. This thing, anyway, when we launched it, did not work. So see if you can make it work, but we are using the Mate keyboard shortcut in the backend. So a Ctrl-Alt-F is gonna work, right? A GNOME screenshot if it's installed. I don't think it's installed. Yep, I saw something blip. Alt-T and so on and so on. All the keyboard shortcuts. So Mate, not here. Audio, Pavu control, there it is. It's there. If you need it, it's there. It's the general way to set things up. It's the easy way, and of course it might work here as well. it's the standard GUI for setting things. So that will work fine. Just think about the keyboard shortcut. That's something different. Backgrounds, we just kept the standard background and didn't add ours. So it's still very virgin look. All right, theme. And here we get into trouble. Not trouble, but we can select these guys. As you see, but that's it. I mean, if we install Sardi, if we install Surfen, they won't come on. They won't be present. They're just this. I don't know. I suppose we did install it. I'm not sure. Sudo pacman -s Sardi. It's not installed because it won't work. So here we have the icons. To show you for sure, let's make this a little bit different, like this. Let's well, let's reboot, even a reboot, right? Not log out, but let the machine really start fresh, from fresh, and then see if Sardi is there. It won't be there. Unless it did updates. I'm not sure, I didn't see any Ukui updates. Have not looked at it, should have looked at it. So what we do, Control Alt RIP. So we always say rest in peace, but it's recent installed packages, of course, and there are elements in here. So we have updated our system, and things might have changed. Things might have changed in the meantime. So the system settings, we're going over them, and we want to see if Sardi is there. This should be the button that launches it, but it's sometimes very weird. It just takes a while and say, okay, what's going on? Is it crashed or not? And then suddenly it appears. We can also do, how did we get there? Config panel. And then suddenly it's there. It's often the case with specific desktops that you have to live with the quirks, as they call it, with the special things, the special ways of working with it. And I believe it's also something about timing. This thing will launch after a while. It's like it's still loading all kinds of things and it's waiting, and then suddenly there it is. And that's this little guy, Ukui. So we have, these are all the things you can actually have a look at. So did we, and figured out elements that we can do. So it's the number 3 there, Ukui Control Center. That's what should be popping up, and is popping up. But for some, like I said, sometimes it's gonna launch and sometimes not gonna launch. But that's not something we can do anything about it. The only thing is we wait for updates, right? Like everybody else, we wait and see if it's gonna function today. So there was no issue whatsoever. Now there's no issue whatsoever either. And there you go. So I've given up on that. It's just live with it. So icon theme, there they are again. Where's Sardi? Not there, as simple as that. Screen lock. All kind of things, fonts a little bit bigger if you want to, screensaver, desktop. So if you don't like the desktop, these items up there, we can remove those items and they'll be gone. Tray icon, we have an Ukui volume control applet, that's here. If we click here, we go to this, we can go here, and that's about it. Okay, so I can even have simple screen recorder down here, tuner. Never click this. Nothing is showing up anyway. Didn't even know tuner had a tray icon. And then up, there we go. Net connect, VPN settings, proxy settings, things I never use. Our icon is there, change password, login, no password, enable auto login, add new user. That's something that some of our desktops is missing. Like it's like, hey, how should I create an account? I get this question quite often. So let's include it in this video. Everything about creating and login is actually in here in the Archway phase 2. Let's not, phase 2. At that point in time, we're going to go down here, and here it is. It's just a line. You copy paste. Of course, please change your name, so the login, and that's it. Give yourself a password, and you have a user. So that's not difficult, and that's all the GUI will do. It will change some files here. What's your name? Well, that's this Eric here. And general password, what's this? I don't know what it is, but you can set your password. So that's this thing. A standard user administrator. I suppose the only thing that differs is root, right? Guessing. It's not really something we do. We don't call it administrator on Linux, but I do believe we have on ArcoLinux.com create user. Let's see if we have here something. So those are the two websites you should take a look at: ArcoLinuxD.com and ArcoLinux.com. How to add a user to your Linux system, any desktop. Any desktop means any desktop. And basically, look at me. I'm going to the same page. I'm going to ArcoLinuxD and copy paste. So creating a new user. Sometimes desktops do not provide it, certainly not the tiling window managers. So there is still some translation to do. CN, China, I guess. Last check. Backup. Backup files, never tried this, damaged. So let's try it. Okay, that was that. And then notice get notifications from the app, about. Oh, it's gone. We used to have something Chinese here, some logo. And yeah, these things are not filled in. So I don't know what feel you guys get if you are watching this video, but I do believe we get an experience, right? We get an experience how Kylin must be on Ubuntu Kylin, right? Ukui, but it's still far from perfect, and that's okay, and that's why I would always advise you to say, oh, I like this. This is something I would like to try out. Why not try it out on Ubuntu, right? That's the source, and that's where it's supported. This is just for us a taste of what we'll get. I don't know why this thing is transparent at this point in time. So these things happen that we ask ourselves, hey, why is he doing this? I don't know. Ctrl-Alt-F, our keyboard shortcuts are in there. And it's not transparent anymore. But this is for me a one-stop video, everything you should know about Ukui. And if it's your thing, great. You want to stick with ArcoLinux, also great. If you say, I'm going to try it on Ubuntu, also great. Because it's still Linux, and that's the only thing that counts. So let's have a quick look at all the things. Mate terminal is here. We have our USB image writer, which is for Linux Mint. Think out of the box, right? We're getting packages from everywhere on the world, from Debian or from Red Hat, and we put it on ArcoLinux. Our AdBlock is here, Tweak tool is here, so we can immediately say, okay, and it doesn't matter where you start, right? Uninstalling Ukui will be hell, but if you want to go and say, look, I'm just going to leave everything as is for now. Later I'll do a clean install, but now I'm going to switch and I'm going to go out of Ukui and I'm going to go back to BSPWM. There's no reason why you should really clean install everything. Certainly not if you're going to a tiling window manager. Then everything is just fine. You just work along, and when it's time to do a clean install, you'll do it, right? And then choose your desktop. It's still maybe, I don't know, maybe you're still in an experimentation phase where you say, okay, this is just great. I can test out ArcoLinux Tweak Tool, or run ArcoLinux Tweak Tool and test out, awesome, another tiling window manager. And it takes a few seconds. It's incredible how fast it's there. Log out, log in. You got yourself a new desktop to explore and to learn. And in the end, or at the end, you decide, okay, this is the thing for me. And then it's the time to go to ArcoLinux B. Why ArcoLinux B? There you get only one desktop. And maybe you say, I'm not gonna download it, which is okay for us, right? Download. I'm not going to download, let's really go for it, ArcoLinux B. I'm not gonna download this guy, because that's our idea of a package list. This is our idea. But you say Firefox. I don't want Firefox. That's fine. And you go build it. Build your own ISO. Build your own ISO means build it. Don't download it, build it. And it's super simple, explained here. And here it's explained how to install it. So that's all possible on ArcoLinux. Let's end with that, since people often do not find it. This is the project, right? All kind of phases. Choose phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, 5. And choose what phase you're in, depending on the knowledge of Linux. And gradually, over years, you'll get there. You'll be able to overview all the phases, and you're never leaving ArcoLinux or ArcoLinux. All right, have fun, guys, with Ukui, and enjoy. Cheers.